Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm just an American guy on a journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Today, we're going to be reacting to Geography Now, Ireland. This was actually recommended in the comment section of the previous Irish reaction I did, which happened to be the first ever content I checked out exclusively about Ireland. And I thought that video was interesting. I learned why Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland are divided in two separate countries. And I never knew that information, and I still have a long way to go to truly understand it. But I felt like learning about the geography would be a good next step on this journey, learning about Ireland. I don't really know much about the Ireland geography. I kind of have an idea of what the island's like. In my head, I can picture some beautiful, like, rocky coastline and very green grass pastures and things like that, rolling hills, beautiful country, just like Great Britain is a beautiful island. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to check out, I guess, the geography of Ireland. Now, this is technically Geography Now, technically the name of the channel, so I'm guessing maybe they do talk about other things besides geography, but who knows? We'll see what this is. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Hey everyone, we reached the land of 1/8 of my own heritage, Ireland, which means I'm probably a far-off distant cousin of our favorite Irishman, Potter! For those who don't know, Potter has helped us out in many of the animations in the past, and Potter has been such a great guy, so we decided to fly Potter out here to literally be in Potter's own country's video. Potter, you rock, man.
It's pronounced Potter.
It's time to learn geography.
No! Too late.
So
I've been calling you
geography.
Potter for like 2 years now. I'm not changing my mind. Anyway, we've reached Ireland.
Wait, what was he calling him? Hold on.
Has helped us out in many of the animations in the past, and Potter has been such a great guy, so we decided to fly Potter out here to literally be in Potter's own country's video. Potter, you rock, man. Changing my mind. Anyway, we've reached
Patter.
Ireland.
And I'm here to correct him if he gets anything wrong. So don't worry, lads.
Okay.
Yeah, that is so true, Potter.
So that's what that feels like. The Emerald Isle, Europe's rain shield, the McNugget. Ireland is loaded with so many notable spots and regions.
And there's a town called Dingle. First of all, Ireland is the third largest island in Europe, located in the North Atlantic Ocean, separated from Great Britain by the North Channel, the Irish Sea, and St. George's Channel.
Oh, wait, by the way, guys, what? This is the Isle of Man, right? I believe, as I've checked out content about, Great Britain, I believe I learned this was the Isle of Man, but I could be mistaken.
North Channel, the Irish Sea, and St. George's Channel. And did
Wow.
you notice how I deliberately
I didn't
avoided
know all
British
those were right
Isles?
there.
Yeah, good call.
Now, here's where things get a little confusing. Ireland's subdivisions. Let's just get it over with quick and fast.
So when discussing the independent sovereign state, most people are referring to the Republic of Ireland, which makes up these 5/6 of the island, and unless mentioned otherwise, this is the Ireland we'll be mostly discussing in this episode.
To this day,
Okay.
the last fifth northern part of Ireland here is actually part of the UK, and
Right.
it doesn't even quite know exactly what to label itself. Some call it a province, some say it's a region, some say it's a constituent country, but the point is, the UK holds on to it.
Which,
Hold on. I've been told that Northern Ireland is its own nation. Isn't that like official? Isn't Northern Ireland officially a nation, and the Republic of Ireland officially its own nation? Well, I know Republic of Ireland definitely is, but I thought Northern Ireland was as well.
can imagine has created some interesting feelings in the past with the Irish.
It's weird though, because the people here can choose their own citizenship, be it British, Irish, or both. On the west side, the North Ireland border just juts into the farmlands, ending at a small village called Manger, and provides a 7-kilometer wide corridor to the town of Bundoran for the rest of the Republic to enter into.
Wow, that's
County.
it?
And then you have the strange Penny enclave right across the Finn River, with only a 1/10 of a kilometre wide entrance that Ireland grabbed and is still part of modern
Wow.
This in return gave a small.
So wait, so the people in this area here are part of the Republic. And they've got the very, very thin area to get. Wow.
Exclave to the UK. An unnamed patch of land with only 3 small farming homes.
The only way to get in besides swimming across the river would be by taking the most name-switched international road on the island, the Irish N54, which turns into the A3 highway once you cross into Northern Ireland. Then it switches back into the N54 once you cross into the exclave. Then it reverts back to the A3 again for about 2 kilometers, and then back to the N54 once you cross back into the Republic of Ireland. So literally, it's like Irish, British, Irish, British, Irish.
Or as I like to call it, my dating life. Also, the UK was like, instead of following the Foyle River all the way up to the Foyle Loch, why don't we just swerve left through the farmland and take the entire city of Derry? Because, hey, logic! Basically, to an Irish person, the entire island of Ireland, including Northern Ireland, is just Ireland.
So if you consider the administrative divisions, the
Okay, so I'm sorry to keep on pausing, guys, but I'm really trying to learn this. This is all brand new to me, and I want to pick it up and retain this information as much as possible. So before, like I said before, I think in the last video, I always thought Ireland was one nation. I understood that there was something called Northern Ireland, but I didn't know it was like literally a separate nation from the Republic of Ireland. So I always called, you know, all of Ireland, Ireland. So if you live in Ireland, you don't say you're in the Republic or the Northern Ireland. You say I'm in Ireland, correct? Is that what he's saying?
Republic of Ireland is divided into 26 counties.
26
However,
counties.
many also include the extra 6 from Northern Ireland and call it 32. But then there's the 2 city and county councils, Limerick and Waterford, and the 3 city councils, Dublin, Galway, and Cork, making 31 local authorities in the Republic of Ireland, and technically 37 again if you include Northern Ireland's counties, and the capital of Dublin.
Sounds about right.
Okay, yeah,
job.
I got that right. Woo.
Historically, though, Ireland was also kind of split into 4 provinces that many people still refer to today. They are Connacht, Leinster, Munster, and Ulster. Northern Ireland is often referred to as Ulster.
I've heard Munster and Ulster.
Most of the counties that make up the historical province.
Otherwise, the largest cities after Dublin are Cork and Limerick, with the largest airports being
Heard of
Dublin,
those.
Cork, and Shannon airports.
I don't know why.
Keep in mind, if Northern Ireland was included in this, Belfast would take the number 2 spots on each of those lists.
In addition to being an island itself, Ireland also hosts hundreds of smaller little islands and islets. The most populated ones being Great Island by Cork, Achill Island in Mayo, and Gorumna and the Aran Islands in Galway.
Finally, some
Hundreds.
places of interest across Ireland might
Wow.
include places like Trinity College,
The
Wow.
storehouse.
the Neolithic tomb of Newgrange, which is
Whoa! Wow, that is so cool. What is that?
older than the pyramids of Giza,
The Rock of Cashel.
Glendalough
Nice.
and Wicklow,
Wow.
Blarney Stone of Cork,
That island that was filmed at the end of Star Wars is called Skellig Michael.
Tory Island, which kind of has like its own king.
Scotia's grave where an Egyptian princess is buried, supposedly. I didn't know about that.
So beautiful.
Wow, I just found it off of Atlas Obscura. The Mound of Hostages,
The Cade of Fields.
the Sky
What?
Garden.
Hookhead Lighthouse, the oldest continuously used lighthouse still operating in Europe.
You live right next to it.
Yeah.
Sean's Bar, the oldest surviving pub and possibly the entire world.
And of course, way too many churches,
How old
abbeys,
is that?
castles, dolmens, tombs,
Oh, wow.
everything else to list.
Way too many of them.
Way too many of them.
Oh, and avoid Temple Bar, right, in Dublin. That's like a tourist trap, and you can't actually meet any real Irish people there. It's just don't go there. Don't go to Temple Bar.
Give it a miss. Go to Coppers.
Coppers.
Yeah.
Ah, beer. You guys know your way around the pint, don't you?
Oh, well, Irish people do, but I don't actually drink.
Oh, okay. Huh.
After that manic cold.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Ireland is very green. The end.
Alright, so there's a little bit more to it than that.
Ireland is a post-glacial carved mineral and sandstone island with about 12 small mountain ranges, the majority of which are located in the north, west, and
Really?
You'll notice looking at the map that the east coast of Ireland seems to be relatively smooth and straight, whereas the west coast of Ireland seems to be all choppy and serrated with inlets and...
Okay, so if I was to go to Ireland, so those coastlines that I have in my head of jagged rocks, the kind of like cliffs and stuff, those would be on the west side. And I'm guessing that means the east side would be more kind of like regular, like kind of sandy beaches and things like that. And I never knew you guys had so many mountains. How tall do the mountains get?
peninsulas. Almost like if you took a ball of clay and just spread it across a flat surface in one direction.
One direction.
Anyway, the tallest peak is Mount Carntu at about 1,000 metres.
And the longest and most important river being the River Shannon.
And a large lake on the entire island being Loch Ness in Northern Ireland. However, if we're talking about the Republic of Ireland, the largest would be Loch Corrib in West Galway.
The west side is also home to the most notable natural landmark, the Cliffs of Moher, that rise about 120 meters straight up from the
Wow.
ocean.
Otherwise, you have the Sleevely Cliff a bit further up north.
Wow.
And in the UK's Northern Ireland, you have the Giant's Causeway, a series of hexagonal volcanic plug steps that just jut into the ocean.
Wow, that is so
I love how
cool.
you say that. Hexagonal.
Hexagonal.
Hexagonal. Now, despite being located fairly north in latitude, Ireland actually experiences a strange weather phenomena in which it actually kind of acts like a rain shield for the UK. It takes all of the warm air released by the North Atlantic Gulf Stream that starts all the way from the Caribbean. This means that although Ireland is on the same relative latitude as Newfoundland, Canada, they remain about 9 degrees Celsius or about 17 degrees Fahrenheit warmer, rarely reaching the freezing point, which in return means they hardly ever get snow. However, that again in return means Ireland gets a ton of rain. Like seriously, over half the year is drenched. You only get like 2 months of sunshine and then it's back to the downpour. I mean, wouldn't that make you guys like kind of depressed?
Why do you think drinking's a thing in Ireland? Speaking of which, the abundance of rain allows Ireland to actually flourish in flora and agriculture, giving it its trademark green colour. Common crops being spuds, sugar beets, and grains like barley, oats, and wheat, which as you can imagine has a large portion that goes towards Ireland's most famous product, beer.
Beer! Ireland without beer is like Mexico without tacos, Koreans without kimchi, Argentinians without salsa, Bob Saget without his telekinetic laser vision.
Yeah, beer culture is such an integral part of being Irish that even priests and nuns get in on the action and share a pint of Guinness.
Which, by the way, the Bible never condemns alcohol, just drunkenness, so know your limits.
Yeah.
It always, that's kind of like the stereotype that, in Ireland, there's a big beer culture. So it sounds like that's true. I'd love to try some, actual Irish beers, like some home-brewed Irish beers. Hopefully when I come up there, I will.
We go to confessional a lot.
Otherwise, some top notable Irish dishes might include things like
Box tea,
potato bread,
brown soda bread,
bacon and cabbage,
too many soups to list like cuddle and Irish stew, black pudding,
that looks good.
and Guinness. And overall, you
Not
can
the black
find
pudding,
potatoes cooked various ways with like everything.
In addition, Ireland is also the perfect habitat for about 26 species of mammals like the red fox,
European hedgehog,
the stoat,
pygmy shrew,
and badger, and the one land reptile that is native to the country, the viviparous lizard.
Speaking of which, no, the story of St. Patrick driving all the snakes out of Ireland was probably not true. Ireland most likely never had snakes due to its geographic isolation from the rest of Europe, and also St. Patrick probably wasn't Irish, he was Welsh.
Yeah, lots of misconceptions when it comes to Irish people. Which brings us to...
I have another question. So I learned during, learning about Great Britain specifically, that there's supposedly not any deadly animals on the island of Great Britain. Is that the same for Ireland? Are there really any major deadly animals? I'm guessing there's probably no bears and things like that. I'm guessing.
Hey, so Potter, Patter. So what does it mean to be Irish?
Oh, we're all about the crack in Ireland, so we are.
Yeah, crack. What? Crack?
Crack every day and night of the week. We love the crack, so I do.
DA, freeze, hands work, see them.
Common misconception. See, we're not actually talking about drugs, we're talking about...
Resisting arrest! First of all, Ireland has about 4.8 million people, over 6 million
Really?
include Northern Ireland, and has the highest birth rate in the EU. About 83% of the country identifies as ethnically Irish, whereas about 9.5% are white of other nationalities, whereas the remainder of the country is other groups like Asians, blacks, and who knows, probably some magical wizards or something.
So the country uses the euro as their currency, they also use the Type G plug outlet, and they drive on the left side of the road.
Now, thanks to modern media...
Wait, 4.8 million? Wow. That's I thought there was more people in Ireland than that. 4.8 million. Wow. That's pretty cool. I didn't know there was, that low a population. Wow. I still don't understand. Maybe he'll go over how big Ireland itself is, like the landmass.
Everyone probably has at least a little bit of exposure to the stereotypical Irish culture one way or another, like Riverdance or Leprechauns or river dancing leprechauns. But there's an entire world to the deep-rooted Irish identity. First of all, the language.
Technically, Ireland, or at least the Republic of Ireland, is a bilingual country that uses both Irish and English, although English is used far more often than Irish ever is. The Irish language is related to other Celtic-based languages spoken in Scotland, Wales, and the...
Oh, no, I want to see this. Status of the Celtic languages. Scottish, Celtic, Manx, Irish, Gaelic, Welsh, Cornish, Breton. Huh. Before I started on this journey, I didn't know any of the British Isles used any other language besides English. I just didn't. Don't know how I didn't know that. But, since then I've learned, different areas throughout the Isles have quite a few different languages. This is so interesting. I would love to hear what the traditional Irish language sounds like. That's what I need. If anybody knows a video they could share in the comments to let me know, like to show me what the traditional Irish language sounds like, that'd be pretty cool. Thanks.
To some extent, Brittany in France.
Just when you thought you were safe after the Iceland episode, Irish comes along and suddenly M and H make a V sound, D and H make a G or Y sound, B, H, and F sometimes make like a W sound.
All right, Paul, let's see you take a shot at saying these words.
All right. R-I-G-late.
Nope, Ariglat, it means go on.
Tavatak.
Nice try. It's talk-duck, it means important.
Letras.
Nah, Lehers, it means toilet.
Feilnacht.
Actually, that was just one I made up. But nice try.
For a long time, the language was suppressed and discouraged by the English-speaking rulers to the point where a couple of generations were greatly affected and grew up barely knowing their own native tongue.
Today, the language has seen a huge resurgence and is one of the core subjects in most primary
That's
and
cool.
secondary schools.
That's awesome.
Although less than half the population claims to be fluent in Irish and only a few communities actually speak it regularly in daily life, the Irish language still survives into the 21st century.
All the public signs are posted in both languages. They even have an Irish-speaking TV
Wow.
channel, radio station, and even an online newspaper.
Wow.
You get a real feel of
I had
Ireland.
no
You
idea.
have to know a little bit of history. which
So
will
many
take
people
way too long
spoke
to
the
explain, but
language.
the quickest way we can do it.
Stone
Anyway,
Age.
yeah.
Celtic culture comes in.
Chiefdoms.
High Kings.
Christianity.
Vikings.
Normans.
Castles got built.
Black Death.
Henry VIII split from the Catholic Church and attacked.
Ulster Plantation and quasi-English rule Oliver Cromwell.
Wars.
Theobald Wolfe, who led a failed rebellion.
Potato famine.
Sons moved to the US and Scotland.
Gaelic revival.
North doesn't agree.
Conflict and persecution against Catholics.
Home rule.
Home rule suspended.
World War I, Eastern Rising.
IRA fights.
Irish Civil War.
Free Staters won.
World War II, they remain mostly neutral.
1969 civil rights marches.
Northern Ireland gets more drama.
They joined the EU.
Good Friday Agreement.
Celtic Tiger.
Financial crisis, but they still grow and move forward.
Wow.
And here we are today.
As mentioned, the largest ethnic group of people in Ireland, the Irish, come from a long line of people known as the Celts, or the Celtic.
It's Celtic, Boston. Celtic.
Not Celtic.
Thousands of years ago, the Celts roamed all across continental Europe. However, the rise of empires and warring people groups kind of pushed them all the way west into the Isles.
And the Celts had an incredibly complex system of tribes or clans and families that dominated certain regions.
Oh, okay, I gotta see it. Up, I see my paternal name. The O has been taken off. I'll probably share that at some point on this channel. I'm just not quite ready to share my full name yet. It's just, still new to this. So, but yeah, it's just interesting. And I think that's generally the area that I've traced my paternal lineage to. Wow.
Chiefs and kings. This is partially why so many people in Ireland have Mech, or the almost exclusively Irish use O prefixes in their last names, which translates to son or descendant. Prior to Christianity, Celts were primarily farmers and cattle herders with pagan and druid roots.
With some controversial practices recorded by the Romans.
Christianity came in and then Catholicism played a huge role even to this day.
However, certain ancient traditions still lived on, like the festival of Samhain.
Sound.
Really? What? I thought M and H make a V sound.
Nah, it depends. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Ugh, your language.
Sound later became known as Halloween, which became popularized and is celebrated all across the world today.
However,
Really?
originally they used to use turnip lanterns, not pumpkins.
Folklore and tradition is strong. We've all heard of leprechauns, but there's also Fionn McCool and the Fianna of the Fenian cycle, Cuchulainn the Hound, Deirdre and Grania, similar to the Princess Isolde and Tristan in Arthurian legend, and so much more.
And the two most popular sports, which are almost never played anywhere else in the world, Gaelic football.
And hurling.
Oh, yeah, that's like a Irish Quidditch or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah! Don't call it Quidditch. Oh yeah, this is a hurl.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. How do you play with that?
Why don't we ask Jason Statham?
Speaking of which, there is no universal Irish accent. You get different dialects from different regions. For example,
Oh, this tosser thinks he's great. Now he's on YouTube. I'll wrap this hole round his neck. Big fat head on him.
Well, I came home on a Monday night as drunk could be.
I don't know who you are or where you are, and I will find you
and return this wallet.
Dude, thank God you came here because I would have offended the entire country and gotten stabbed within hours of upload if I attempted that.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, some famous people of Irish descent might include people like
Oscar Wilde,
James Joyce,
Bram Stoker,
Samuel Beckett,
chemist Robert Boyle,
Graham Norton,
Terry Wogan,
the Irish PewDiePie guy,
U2 and Bono,
The Script,
the Dubliners,
Phil Lynott, whom I incorrectly referred to as Philly Knott in the Guyana episode. Sorry about that.
the Cranberries,
Enya,
Hosier, the Rubber Bandits,
the dude from One Direction,
Colin Farrell,
Cillian Murphy,
Brendan Gleeson,
Saoirse Ronan. I got that.
nail it, Maureen O'Hara,
Richard Harris.
and Northern Ireland, Liam Neeson.
And Michael Fassbender is half Irish, so I guess it kind of counts.
Yeah, some guy called Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor. Oh, and according to that one Malaysian guy from Flag Friday, Westlife and Boyzone. Otherwise, we could go on and on about the rich, complex layers of music, dance, literature, symbolism, artifacts, traditions, festivals, clothing, customs, and legends, but that would take way too long, and if you want to know more, just watch any episode of Fair City or Father Ted.
Or you could just like talk to an Irish person as well.
Nah, TV's better. TV never gets anything wrong.
Sure.
In the meantime, Ireland's Friend Zone in 3, 2, 1. No matter where you find them in this world, you know you're going to be lucky when you find an Irishman.
First of all, as an EU member state, Ireland has strong ties to many of their continental neighbours, specifically the Catholic countries, like France and Spain. The French and the Irish have a long history of joining up in the squabbles against the British.
And about 60% of students in secondary school learn French. Spain is not only close and does good business, but it's also the #1 tourist destination for the Irish, as about a quarter of their entire population visits at least once a year.
Surprisingly,
Wow.
the Lithuanians have been flocking to Ireland since the 90s after the collapse of the Soviet Union and make up the third largest immigrant group after the British and the Polish.
But keep in mind, the Polish, they go everywhere, so it's no shocker. I mean, remember how they made up 8% of Iceland's population? Now, despite the past drama, Ireland gets along pretty well with the UK. A lot of their imports come from them, and the Irish are an almost integral part of the common British atmosphere, as so many...
I mean, that would make sense.
Nonetheless, the best friends of Ireland would actually probably be Scotland in the UK and the USA. Scots and the Irish are Celtic brothers that have shared cultures since the beginning, as well as some of the same strifes and struggles.
Tons of Irish moved to Liverpool after the potato famine and were generally welcomed by their cousins. I mean, horrible accents aside, have you seen that one scene in Braveheart where the Irish mercenaries backstab the British and join their Scottish cousins? Yeah, like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The USA, though, is like their favourite younger cousin, who is a lot bigger and stronger. Not only do about 30% of their exports go to the US, but after the potato famine, hundreds of thousands of Irish came flocking into Ellis Island, and to this day, about 35 million Americans claim to have either partial or full Irish heritage. The largest concentrations on the East Coast in New England. That's about 7 times.
I'm actually surprised it's so small. I mean, there's about 340 million people roughly in America. But I guess I think a lot of the Caucasian people are German descent. You know, obviously English descent as well. So I guess that makes sense. Because when you add them all up, yeah.
The population of Ireland itself.
It even got to me somehow.
Wow,
Thank you,
that's true.
Grandpa I never met. In conclusion, I'm actually gonna give this to you, man. Take it away.
Thank you, Paul. In conclusion, Ireland has had to Conor McGregor its way through war, famine, economic recession, terrible leprechaun rapping, and Gerard Butler's horrible accent in P.S. I Love You. Seriously, man, you're Scottish. It shouldn't be that hard. But through all that, we've managed to be the coolest kid on the block, despite a few emotional issues here and there. We're pretty rad, if I say so myself. Go on, Ireland, you beautiful, drunken mess of a nation, you. And you know what? In honour of your 1/8 Irish lineage, I've decided to bestow on you the title of Kind of Irish, I guess. Here's 1/8 of an Irish shamrock, tied on with a piece of sellotape.
Oh, thanks, Potter, even though I always get your name wrong, so, yeah.
You do.
Oh.
Title revoked.
No, okay, come on.
We've been through this.
Okay, so it's like ladder, but patter, right? Patter, right? Patter?
Better.
Score. Stay tuned! Israel is coming up next.
Oh, this is going to be good.
That was an awesome video. Those guys were so funny, and really, I thought this was just going to be mainly about geography, but this turned out to be across the board, like so many different areas. I don't even really know what to title this video because it was so many different things. But wow, I learned quite a bit. One thing there's a few things stick out, but one thing is I didn't know there was only roughly 4.8 million people in the Republic of Ireland. And then if you add in Northern Ireland, I think they said 6 million. I think can't remember what the state I live in, but I think we have more people in the state than that. I mean, obviously the U.S. is a much bigger landmass, so I mean, it totally makes sense. But it's just wow, that's so interesting. I didn't know that. Some of this food looked delicious, and I had no idea. Like I knew there were different accents, but I had no idea there was quite that many. That's a lot. There's a lot of accents, and I don't even know where to start. Really, there is so many different directions to go with. With looking into Ireland. I can check out different things about the history, different things about food culture, and, maybe patriotic stuff. I don't even know. There's so many different things. So, guys, help me out here. Share in the comment section, directions maybe I should take to continue my journey learning about Ireland and the Irish people. I can check out different things like, cities around Ireland, different coastlines, and more geography stuff. And I don't even know. There's so many different things to check out. But this was awesome. This was a good second video to learn more about Ireland. I definitely picked up quite a few things here. Thank you for watching. Please click that like button. Like I said, feel free to share your comments either about this video, things you want to add to it, or perhaps you want to, give me some suggestions of some videos maybe I should check out or some areas I should look into. Definitely going to check out the Troubles sometime soon because that seems to be a very important aspect to the history of modern Ireland. I think there's also the potato famine. There's definitely a few things that I've already thought about checking out next, but love any ideas you guys might have. Also, please feel free to subscribe to continue to join me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.